lección de apoyo que va a llevar a cabo el tutor Rafael. Entonces, pues vamos a cuadrar el audio primero para que puedan escucharlo y ya empezamos entonces. Rafael, le puedes dar a la opción de micrófono en la parte de arriba y luego le das clic al botón nuevamente que te aparece debajo del micrófono. Y si no, tocaría volver a ingresar y corroborar que las opciones de audio estén correctas. Entonces vamos a esperar.
In our university. I've been staying here more or less 3 years, so I'm doing some practice. I really appreciate the help that Ana Maria has given to me. I'm gonna try to speak to my computer in order to make you know what I'm gonna teach you today. I have chosen an easy topic for you. Maybe you have seen that topic before. But I'm going to try to reinforce the topic is the simple present tense. So here you can see some slides or some cartoons about the use of the simple present tense. So you can see, do you know when we use the simple present tense? Then the person says yes, or the dog says yes. Simple present tense is used for things that are always true, and we can use it too for daily routine or for, let me see here. Okay, guys. Maybe you listen what I said, or somebody can tell me if someone could listen perfectly, or I repeat again. Okay, the idea will be that I can see you and I can hear you, because that's different, because sometimes I am explaining and trying to teach something or explain something, but it's like if I were talking to the screen only, but nobody here. Are you hearing? But I can hear you, so it's a little bit complicated, but I'm gonna try to do the exercise like that. So as I told you before, the simple present is used to show that something is true, or maybe we can use it with habitual situations or things that we do regularly. Okay, so we are going to check this example before starting the explanation in order to understand better this activity. The first example is Mary gets up every morning. She does some exercises. The second one, Simon plays football after every day. And the other one is the Earth rotates around the sun. The last example shows that we are talking about real facts, you know. The first example is maybe a routine, and the second one shows the guy doing a daily activity. Okay. After that, we are going to check some rules, some examples, and information you have been learning in this moment. I know maybe some of you know this topic, but it's good to be emphatic in some aspects, because maybe simple person is easy, but maybe you can find some confusion when you are talking about the third person and the changing of the verb. Okay, guys, let me move this, but sorry. You have okay, we go to the next slide to show you what is the form of the simple present tense. As we know, when we are talking about simple present tense, we need to know that we always use a subject and a verb and an object or a component. Okay. In this case, this is the affirmative case, the affirmative form of the simple present tense. As you can see, we use the personal pronouns I think, you think, he, she, and it thinks, and we think, you think, and they think. Okay. We have to be emphatic in he and she and it, because those pronouns are the third person. And in third person, there are some rules that we are going to use in order to write the correct form of the verb when we are using those personal pronouns. Okay. So the simple present tense used to kind of auxiliaries to make questions and to make interrogative sentences. We use do and does. In this case, we use do with all the personal pronouns, with the exception of that of he and she and it. Those pronouns go with does. So in the example, you see, do I think? Do you think? Does she think? Does he think? Does it think? So you have to write the auxiliary, but the verb goes in its base form. You don't have to add es at the end of the verb, because the auxiliary changed the form of the verb. Do we think? And as you can see here, the negative form to this is only add to the auxiliary the negative form. I do not think, you don't think, he, she, it doesn't think, we don't think. Okay? These are the three forms, the three basic forms of this tense, and obviously if the forms or these forms are used in all the other tenses like that: affirmative, negative, and interrogative. Okay. Does anybody have any question? If you have any question, you can type it in the screen, and I can read the question. And if Paula Sala, if you hear me, we are talking about the simple present tense. Okay. I'm gonna write on the screen. Okay, and I hope you have cleared the topic we are talking about today. explanation in the next slide. And I want you to pay attention to this slide, because this slide is really important in order to understand what is the use of how to change verbs in the third person. As I told you before, with the pronouns I, you, we, they, and you use always the base form of the verb. That's the rule one. Okay. In this case, when we are talking about she and it, that is the third person, we add s or es when the words, sorry, we add s to the verbs when they finish in maybe a vowel or th, o, x, th, sh. Okay, you add s. Okay. When the verb ending is in consonant like y, maybe one verb would be cry, you change y by I cry. That is not the case of play. For example, when the verb ends in y but is preceded by a vowel like play, you don't have to change the y by ies, but only you add s, like play, different from cry that ends in a consonant, preceded by a consonant like r, so you change by cry. Okay, guys, I hope you have cleared that explanation about the rules of the verbs in third person only. So we got now a short activity, maybe to practice those rules. So in exercise 1, you are gonna write in your maybe you're gonna use a paper if you have a paper or a notebook. You're gonna write down all those verbs and you're gonna change the form that we were talking before. So you got 12 verbs. You are gonna write the third person for each one of those verbs. So you got a few minutes for that. Maybe you can do it in 5 minutes. Okay, so I will wait for you in order to know when you have finished this first exercise. Please only do the first exercise. Okay, teacher Tina, if you hear me where I can get the pointer, because I have one pencil next to the signal, but I click on the pencil, but I don't see the pointer. Can you tell me where I can find it? Okay, Angie. I see your exercise. Yes, Ana Maria, my teacher Tina is telling me that I can use the pointer, but I don't know where I can see or where I can get the pointer. Angie, teacher, she throws maybe the example that you are writing on the screen is not correct, because you are using the verb to be and one verb different from to be. In this case, we are not talking about verb to be. We are only talking about simple present, so you don't have to mix those topics, those two sentences, So you are making room. So for example, you wrote cheese, cross. In this case, you omit cross, omit is, and you have to write only T crosses. Okay guys, but the idea here is with the exercise 1 is only write the verb with the form that you see over your exercise. Don't write any sentences, only write if you can see the rule too, you can check the endings that you can write there. So try to write according to the explanation. For example, the first one, cross, ends in s, so you add es. So the first one will be crosses. In that way, you have to continue doing the other verbs. So it's only put the ending. So with those letters that you see in red, like es, ies, or s, according to the ending of the verb. Good, David, you are doing good. It's like that, David. You are doing good. So you just put the or write the correct ending of each verb according to the third person, and that's it by now. Remember, guys, when for example the verb ends in e at the end, for example dance, you only add s, dances. So for example, if the verb ends in any consonant at the end too, like a speak, you write only speak, only add s at the end. You have to be careful with the rules. You can see the rules in the rule number 2, the third person singular form. So when the verb ends in o, s, x, th, or ch, you add es. But when the verb ends in y, you only ies. But here I told before that we need to be careful when the verb, for example, ends in y, but it's preceded by a vowel, like play. For example, you write play. I'm gonna write on the screen play. Play has an a before y, so you write play, right? If you, for example, write this verb like this, play, that verb is incorrect because the y is preceded by a vowel. So you have to write play. In this case, for example, carry, you can change it to carries. That will be the correct form of carry, because it is preceded by a consonant. Okay, guys. How are you guys with your exercise? You are doing good, or you are feeling a little bit confused? Good, baby. You are doing good. This exercise is not really easy. It's only paying attention to the rules, and after that you are going to do it well. It is only practice, and obviously you have to remember those rules when you are writing or you are speaking, because they are really important. Maybe people can understand you, but they know that you are making a mistake in that part. So it's really important that when we learn it good and put in practice what we are learning, because those simple words are meaningful when you are speaking and you are writing. there are any other guy that any other guy that can follow the exercise. Okay, baby, let me check. That's good. You're doing good, baby. You only need to practice with many other verbs. Remember there are regular and irregular verbs, and you can put them in practice. Remember that regular and irregular verbs, you can learn them by heart, so by memory practically. In that way, you are gonna remember the three different tenses: present, past, and past participle. So you see that according to the tense you are talking about. In this case, we don't have any deal because we are using those verbs only in present. We are using regular and irregular verbs. So we need only to know what is regular, what is irregular, And the idea is only write down in front of the verb, you have to write the correct form in the third person. For example, if you see crows, and you see the rules, you see that crows ends with s, so you only add es. You can check the purple arrow. What you have to do with the verb, you have to put in front of the verb, in the final of the verb, you have to put es to complete the verb to the third person. It's only that. Maybe you are confused because maybe you think that you need to do a sentence, but that is not by now. You have to write in front of the verb, write it again with it ending in the third person. Okay. Okay, guys. I hope you have finished this exercise. And maybe some of you have done that exercise really good. Maybe others are a little bit confused, but with time and with practice, you are gonna get that ability, or you are gonna learn how to write those verbs in the third person. On the third person, you have to write as like that. So, for example, if I give you an example, I cross the street, or she crosses the street. They cross the street, and he crosses the street. So it's only taking into account when I have to use those rules to change the verb at the end of the verb. Okay, guys. Yes, Gina. Now I'm checking what you are writing. I'm watching what you are writing. It's fine. I hope you are doing a good exercise with these verbs. Okay. So we can continue with the next practice exercise. So we are going to complete the sentence with the verb in the bracket. Okay. Remember that third person not only refers to people, but it refers to things. Things too, or places or countries, not only people or for a specific person pronouns he or he. Remember that the pronoun it refers maybe to school, to a country, to a thing, okay, to an animal. you understand this topic. Maybe you are practicing what you have seen before. That's fine. Thanks for your participation. I'm trying to look for a blackboard. So you can help me where I can find the board. Nina, you are having a trouble or maybe a confusion because in this moment you are like congregating is with the verb like he is playing. That is a mistake. For example, you write he is play, for example. He is play. That is a mistake. You don't have to mix the verb to be in this case. We are only talking about simple person with verbs different from to be. So in this case you have to omit the is, omit it, and write the s to the verb. He plays. But never write when you're talking about simple present with verbs different from to be. You only have to do it like that, like the example. Okay. You have to write enough. He studies. He studies. That will be the correct form. Okay. But never mix is with a simple verb. That's not correct. It's a pretty simple present. So you need to see the examples below in order to follow the example. Okay. Now we are working on practice exercise. So we are going to solve those exercises. It's likely the same exercise that we did before. It's only try to write the verb with the correct ending in the verb. For example, the first one, the school finishes at 6:15. That will be the correct verb. Okay. Okay, David, you can activate your microphone, David. for the simple person you use for daily routines. And this is a really nice exercise that will help you to follow a routine, and it is going to show you how to write the verbs according to the routine that the speaker is going to take during the day, which is doing some things during her day. So you are going to complete the the activity that Mimi is going to do since he wakes up until he goes to sleep. So, until she goes to sleep, sorry. It's a daily routine. Maybe you have worked a daily routine before. It's really easy. You can only write, use the verbs in the box and choose the correct verb that better fits according to the question, to the sentence. So the first one, I'm going to help you with the first one. Meaning, gets up at 6 o'clock. That will be the first one. So you need to continue reading and trying to write the correct verb. Okay, Lily, don't worry, it's fine. I understand you. Maybe I got the same problem. Maybe I got my microphone active, but I don't know how you can active yours. But it's fine. It's fine. We are going to continue because the time is running out. Don't worry, Lily, it's fine. I hope you understand everything. That's only what matters now. That you understand what I'm saying. That is the main goal right now. Okay, guys. Maybe we are going to use 10 minutes more to finish this activity. And after we will continue with the next slide. Because I told you before the time is running out and we need to try to complete it as soon as possible. David. And yeah, are you there? Are you still working with the exercise or not? What about Gina? Gina is working. Sure, you're trying to solve the exercise. No, I mean you're wrong because you said she brushed her hair, her bed. No, remember she makes her bed. Remember when she's organizing the bed, she makes. We make the bed. When we organize the blankets and the sheets and we leave it to come later to rest. Make, and you don't forget make. She makes her bed. See, Angie? She makes. She makes, Angie. She makes her bed. Remember, David, that when we are talking about lunch, breakfast, or dinner, we never eat. Yeah, obviously we do that action, but we always say half dinner, half breakfast, or half lunch. You use half, okay? Don't forget that. It's a little mistake we made when we are learning, but it's okay. You have to take into account only always that when we are eating, having lunch or dinner, you always use the verb have. Half lunch, half dinner, half breakfast. Okay? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, would be so it would be nice. Is the the word or the phrase that you can use to tell me that you are thinking that has the appropriate word to write down there. Good. Okay, Gina. How are you, Gina, with your exercise? Confusing must work with all the exercise, but it's fine. You can you you want to work with only your some of the letters, you can do it, but after all you have to finish the whole exercise. Remember, Gina, that you are not putting in practice the rules of the third person. Remember that she goes, because the verb ends in O, so you have to write ES. She goes. She goes. Remember that, Gina. Don't forget the rules. She goes. She goes to the school. Yeah, that's right. Remember that when you are talking about third person he, she, and it, always the verb change in the third person. So you are not gonna write the same verb. You have to add the particle that corresponds to the verb, okay, according to the final letter of the verb. You have to check the rules in order to make it good. Okay, guys. This basically is a fun exercise that you can do every day. You can practice with your partner, or maybe with any friend or any brother if you got the chance. To know how to use the simple present, describing the routine that you are gonna do that day. For example, what time do you wake up? What do you do after you wake up? If you go to school, if you stay at home, or if you are gonna help your mother or not. Maybe if you are studying something, or if you are gonna play with some friends, or after all, what are you gonna do when you finish doing all those things at the end of the journey? Okay. Remember, Gina, you are not using the rules for the third person. Remember, she practices, because the third person, the the word ends in E, so you add S. She practices. Practice. She practices. Okay. You need to go over the rules and try to start them, because maybe you are confused in that part, so you have to be careful with that, because you are making some mistakes, but doesn't matter, it's fine by now. But don't forget, when we are learning, we have to make many mistakes, but we have to learn from our mistakes. You don't have to stay there keeping the mistakes and forgetting that it has a change. Okay, so try to learn from your mistakes. And are you done? Did you finish the exercise, or you need a little bit more time to finish it? Okay, guys. Maybe you will have time to check, to review this presentation. Your teacher is gonna send it to you. In order to you review the presentation and you try to solve the exercise even, and in that way you're gonna make it good. So we need to move to the next exercise, and in that way we are going to finish this activity. And this activity is a really activity related with the simple present tense, but it has in some cases maybe a simple past tense, but it's fine because of the narration that is doing a verb. So this is basically Valerie. You know that everyone has Facebook, so you need to solve, or you maybe you need to fill up some requirements when you are going signing in to Facebook. So you need to write your name, your address, maybe your profession, if you are married or not, if you got children, if you many personal information that sometimes is not good to attach to this kind of social network because maybe it can help you trouble after, because sometimes there are bad people that can use that information to steal a person, to steal maybe bank accounts or something like that. So you have to be careful when you open an account and the information that you provide to those accounts in order to be quiet and don't have any problem with anybody, okay? So you are going to follow this reading. You are going to follow this reading carefully. You are going to analyze what is she saying, what is she talking about, what is she writing about his life, his likes and dislikes, what she knows, and all those things that she's telling there, she's writing there. And after that, you are going to go to the next slide, but I'm going to take a good time to read this paragraph in order to you maybe learn how to pronounce some words, or maybe you try to understand what it's saying. So the paragraph says like this: My name is Valerie Martinez. I am 25 years old and I am Catholic. My birthday is in 5th of January. I am a secretary at Franklin High School. I was born in Sacramento, California, and I live in Stockton, California at 2718 Lloyd City, and zip code 95203. I live there with my husband. His name is Carlos Fernandez, and our anniversary is the 8th of June. My school is University of the Pacific, UOP. I studied at that college. I studied languages and learned to speak Spanish, English, French, and German. I like reading in all languages. One of my favorite books is called A Thousand Cindy Suns. When I have spare time, I also like to watch movies. One of my favorite movies is Forrest Gump, especially when he says, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you are going to get. I also like watching Bonds and Friends on television. On weekends, my husband and I go to clubs. We like to listen and dance salsa and eat hot. When we are tired, we don't go out. We just play poker or Monopoly. I think anyone should enjoy their life like we do. Like my grandmother used to say, life is short to be fast. Okay guys, that's the reading, maybe in order to you understand the pronunciation of some words. And that is the activity that you are going to follow, or that is the reading that you are going to take into account to do the next exercise. Okay, so the next slide is a Facebook profile. It is a Facebook profile like when you opened an account by first time. So you are going to fill in all those lines, you are going to fill the information according to the reading. So you see the word, where are done by now, but I'm gonna use these few minutes to talk about my experience in this field or about learning English and teaching English. But I know it's not easy for me, or maybe it's not easy at all. Be teacher, this profession is so hard sometimes, but it's a beautiful profession we can work on. So I started working in high school at least, oh, maybe 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I was teaching English in high school. I have to tell you the truth, it's not really easy work with teenagers. They are so complicated sometimes, but the idea here is try to teach them how to develop language. You know that language are and Spanish as well. Those are languages that we know and we need to know, but they are not easy. Our own language is not easy to learn. When we are learning English, we have many trouble trying to learn. Maybe we put barriers in our life, but it's okay. It's only practice, guys. It's only practice and motivation. If you are motivated to learn a language, you can do it even by yourself with self-study like we are doing now. Sometimes we can go to YouTube and download some videos and watch some videos that can help you with many topics, with pronunciation, with vocabulary, or specific topics that you want to need or you want to learn about. And that will help you to improve your listening skills, your reading skills, and why not? They can help you to speak well English because it's not easy, as I told you before. You need to practice a lot because, for example, in my case, I had the opportunity to come to the United States. And it seems a little bit difficult here without using a language, or even if you got your tongue, your mother tongue, and you don't know the language of this country, it's a little bit difficult for those kind of people that don't speak English because it's terrible to communicate. So you don't have any chance if you don't speak English in this country. You can find many people from this country, from other countries that can speak your language, but it's not the same because the most of the time we speak with Americans or with people from other countries. So the the, the only language that we have to use is English. So if you don't learn it good or you speak it good, you're gonna have communications problems. You have communication problems with that issue. So my advice for you guys is that you have to keep on working every day in your goals. So if you wanna learn English for your practice life, for traveling or for doing other things, if people knowing another culture, you have to make a big effort practicing every day. Don't forget to write all the time. You have to write the new words that you are learning. And don't forget the information your teachers have been teaching you because the whole time the new learners like to waste time doing other things and don't paying attention to teachers. And that's a terrible problem, a terrible situation because when you finish your studies, you are going to realize that you did nothing in your high school or in all those years that you were learning English. So when you start the university, you are going to face the problem again. So if you don't have the basis at the beginning, maybe in another stage it's going to be hard for you to try to learn those concepts that maybe you saw before that you don't retain in your mind. So it's difficult, but you can do it, guys. You can do it. Only studying and practicing and taking advantage of all those explanations that your teachers give you in order to learn the language. Okay, guys. Um, David, according to your question, you you ask me that where, in which place I am living now. I am living close to Boston. I am 1 hour left Boston and 3 hours from New York City. And I have to tell you that this is a nice place. It's quiet and there are good people. And I live from here. I've been trying to master my language, so it's not easy, but every day we learn new things that can help you to grow our language. Yeah, it's good, baby. And I really appreciate your questions and your participation as well as your experience. Uh, Maybe this takes time. This phase takes time. Sometimes it's not easy because the communication can fail, but I hope you have understood everything. And maybe if you have any question or you have any about any issue, you can call me or you can add me to Skype in order to try to solve your interrogants. Okay, I'm gonna give you again my Skype because I send my sketch to many students, but maybe they don't write it or they don't take it to talk with me. Okay, I think that the time is out. It was a pleasure work with work. Okay, guys. I think the time is out. I hope you have understood everything. And if you didn't understand something, you can write me to my mail or to my Skype, and I can help you with any question about everything, any topic that you can